What is up, Cleveland Browns fans? It is IndyCar Tim here on FanStream Sports, FanStreamSports.com, and the FanStream Sports app. Welcome into the show. It is preseason week 1, game 1. Cleveland Browns versus the Green Bay Packers of Green Bay, Packer. Is anybody else excited for the preseason? Excited to get things underway here and take a look at kind of some of the guys, the young guys, and what changes will be made. And of course, we won't get into the meat of anything really until the regular season. But you know what? At least we've got football back on the field, back on the TV. The Browns are back on the field. Jameis Winston will get the nod today here on Saturday against the Packers as Watson will sit out. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the players that you will see today, some of the players that you won't see today, and some of the comments that Kevin Stefanski has made regarding this game and why we will or won't see somebody. It's the first preseason game, training camp in full force. Roster changes have been made recently. There is a list of inactive players and some notable absences here for week 1, game 1 of the preseason there at Cleveland Brown Stadium. Kevin Stefanski has said earlier this week that some starters will see limited action, but maybe not all the starters that we anticipated on seeing, and there will be some key players that will not see the field at all. Stefanski had initially given us an update earlier in the week about defensive tackle Quentin Jefferson, who suffered an injury scare this week, and guard Wyatt Davis, who's returned to practice after an injury scare of his own. So both of those guys are fine. Not sure if they'll see the field on Saturday. Linebacker Tony Fields, wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, defensive ends Zadarius Smith, and tackle Shelby Harris are all still sidelined with injuries. Smith is dealing with that knee contusion. Cornerback Greg Newsome is on the active non-football injury list, so he will not see action on Saturday. Running back Deontay Foreman suffered an injury during a punt return. He returned to practice this week after negative x-rays and CT scans. He was helped off the field, carted off the field. It was a very scary injury situation for him. But he is active here for the preseason opener. And according to ESPN, some of the players that Stefanski and the Browns have listed out on the depth chart are Jack Conklin, Jedrick Wills Jr., Nick Chubb, Nyheim Hines, DeAnthony Bell, Greg Newsome, Dalvin Thompson. Some of the players listed as questionable according to the Browns: linebacker Tony Fields, Zadarius Smith, Shelby Harris, Juan Thornhill, Jerry Jeudy. Now, those listed questionable there, we don't expect to see them take the field because why? Why would you? Watson is out. Deshaun Watson is out. That means Jameis Winston is going to make his Cleveland debut after the Browns picked him up in free agency this season. He had some pretty nice things to say if you're following along at training camp about Deshaun Watson. Those guys apparently getting along very, very well. And also in the game, the Browns probably will look to some other quarterbacks on the depth chart. Don't expect to see Winston the whole game. Tyler Huntley, Dorian Thompson-Robinson could see some action on Saturday as well. Both of those guys have experience and will need to get some reps to see as the Browns attempt to, I guess, work out their quarterback room. They've got too many quarterbacks. So there's going to be an odd man out here, and we don't know who that's going to be. Could be Huntley, could be Thompson-Robinson. We'll know more about that as the preseason rolls on here. And, of course, the Browns are navigating training camp challenges with some of the key offensive linemen out. As we mentioned, Jedrick Wills and Jack Conklin out of today's game. Cam Fleming was brought in for a workout, and he'll be used for some depth as the season approaches. And, a lot of these injuries that the Browns have dealt with this offseason, just like a lot of other teams, everybody's dealing with these things. It's not just the Browns. Will kind of make things difficult for coaches to evaluate certain position groups, evaluate starters at some positions. But that's the business, right? That's what the Browns deal with. That's what the NFL deals with, and that's why we have training camp. Some have said, let's just get rid of preseason games and let's just get right into a 20-game season with 3 bye weeks, and there's no need for preseason games. And I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I don't like preseason games. They don't have preseason games in college, and that seems to work out well. You just kind of start with some cream puffs. Well, there are no cream puffs in the NFL, clearly. So don't know how that would work out. But it would be fun to watch because it's an equal playing field for everybody. So we'll see. May do a show on that here as time goes on here in the preseason. But anyway, it is a Browns-Packers preseason Saturday. 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time start from Cleveland Browns Stadium. Can't wait to get things rolling here in the preseason with the Browns, and you guys let me know what your expectations are. If you see the video right here, let me know what you think here on YouTube, wherever you're finding it, just down in the comments. Love to hear what your expectations are for Deshaun Watson, for the Browns in general, the new Ken Dorsey offense. And make sure you're checking out everything you can at Athlon Sports Browns Digest on a daily basis, where you can find all of our great content, all of my great content, and the great staff of writers at Browns Digest at Athlon Sports. We'll do another one early in the week for you to talk about this game, what we saw, and what might come up for next week. Till then, boys and girls, we'll see you.